Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. So this look was just so random. I randomly wanted to just do something mainly because I got my nails done today. And I got my nails a neon barf green, which it looked really cute on the nail sample, but then when I put it on my nails, I was like, what are you doing? Like, stop. But you know what? They're growing on me now. Like, they're growing on me. I actually kind of really like them. So I was like, why not just create a fun green eyeshadow look? You know, I got the green nails, got the green eyes. Let's just add some more green to the look, you know? So I came up with this gold green cut crease halo eye, and I really like it, and I loved how it turned out. So yeah, so if you guys want to see how I got this whole look, then keep on watching. Alright, so starting off priming the skin, I'm going to take the MAC Strobe Cream in Goldlite, and I am just going to be putting this all around the perimeter of my face, because right in the T-zone, I'm going to go in with a mattifying primer just to kind of control my oil throughout the day. But I still want that glow, so I use the MAC Strobe Cream just to kind of bring that in where my foundation's gonna go. And going into the T-zone area, I'm going in with the Benefit POREfessional. This is the Pearl Radiance kind. And I just take a little bit of this. I don't need too much of it. And I am just putting this right on my nose, right where I have pores, right underneath my eye. Go in my forehead and on my chin, just because right in this area I get the most oily throughout the day, and this is going to control the oil, and then it's also going to fill my pores, so when I put foundation on, it's going to have a really smooth finish look instead of having the foundation just like sink into my pores. Okay, so now that I went ahead and primed my face, I'm gonna go in and prime my eyes real quick, and then we're gonna just start off with eyes, just because I'm doing a pretty dramatic eye color today, so I don't want any fallout if I do any foundation. So we're gonna start off with the eye and then do the face. I'm just gonna take my concealer. This is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I am just going to take a little bit of this on just like a buffing brush, and I'm just gonna put this right on my eyes just to kind of set the eye. I do have discoloration on my eyes, so this does help hiding all like the veins and all the non-pretty stuff on my eyes. And then I'm just gonna go in with my translucent powder. Any powder that you guys use is perfectly fine. You just want a translucent one, or just one that's your skin tone, that can just hold down that concealer that we put in, so that when we put any eyeshadow on top of it, it doesn't crease at all. And then real quick before we do start the eyes, I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows. I'm gonna do it off camera just because my eyebrows suck, and I don't think anyone really cares to see my eyebrow routine because everyone has such different eyebrow routines, honestly. So I'm gonna do mine off camera real quick, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I went ahead, filled in my eyebrows, and I just used the Anastasia brow definer in dark brown. Matches my eyebrows perfectly, and then I just clean it with some concealer. Honestly, I know this is so weird, and I'm just gonna tell you guys a tip, but I take, or mascara one like this, that I have a bunch of them just because makeup artists do, but I get this wet and I get a little bit of bar soap and I just like run it through it, and it helps brush out my eyebrows and keep my hairs in place. So literally my hairs are like gonna be in place the rest of the day just by using bar soap, which is so weird, but I've been doing it for a really long time now, and my brows have been staying pretty good. So we are going to just go ahead and start off with in the crease. I'm going to be taking my bronzer that I'm going to be using on my face. And the reason I do this is because later on when we do the full face of makeup, the bronzer is going to be standing out the most. So it's almost like you're tying the whole look together. You're going to have that pop of bronzer that's going to be on your face, on your eyes. So then your eyes and your face are kind of going to be like as one. I'm just taking my bronzer very lightly and just moving it back and forth in my crease with a big blending brush. no matter what eye look I'm doing, like no matter what color or whatever, I always start off with the bronzer in the transition, because the bronzer can just match whatever color you're doing on your eyes, no matter what. And since this is already the color that's going to be on your face, you might as well just start off with it, you know? Okay, this is where don't know what to do because I don't know what I'm doing with my eyes. All right, I'm going to be taking my Urban Decay Born to Run palette. I'm going to be taking this color Riff, which is just a really pretty copper brown. And I'm going to be taking this on a wide blending brush and just putting this right in the crease. Kind of like where I put my bronzer, but going to be a little bit more defined, just to add a little bit more color to it. I think we're going to go in with, I think we're going to do a green eye today. So this color is just going to help bring the whole thing together, kind of tie it together and get that transition color going. I'm going to get that green going on the eyeball. I'm going to take this MAC shadow. This is Humid, and it's just a really pretty green. I don't know, it's just a really pretty matte green color. We are just going to be taking this green and start packing it on the outer corner, and then start moving it into the crease a little bit. And I am just going in with a flatter blending brush just to get it more defined in the crease. Okay. We're still packing that on right in the crease. And I'm also going to be bringing it down into the inner corner because I think we're going to go in with a halo eye. I think we're going to do it. So just packing this right in the corner, bringing it up in the crease so it's almost like it's creating like a rainbow shape almost. So just still blending with this. I'm just gonna go back in with that color Riff that we used, that copper color, and just blend that back in just so we don't lose that color in it. Alright, we're gonna go in with a darker color now. I'm gonna take from the Urban Decay palette this dark brown punk color, and we are going to deepen the crease with this in the outer corner. And I'm just taking a small blending brush for this. I'm just going to be kind of putting this right in the outer corner of the eye. And putting this right in the crease. Right in the crease. So then when we do the cut crease, it kind of gives it that that radiant ombre color kind of look thing that we're going for. And then putting this right on the outer corner too. And then bringing that up in the crease. And then I'm gonna go in with that green that we just used before, that MAC green, and blend that out just so that green pops out again. Still here, still doing the green eye. Like that. Going back in with that copper brown Riff, blending that out. As you guys can tell, like, to create a look like this, just to get a good blended eye, the key is just keep blending. Keep going in with those steps that you did and just keep doing those steps over and over again to just get that perfect blended look. And then it'll all kind of come together. So now we're going to go in with that same pointy brush again. And I'm going to go in with Jet from the palette. This is just a Jet Black. And I'm just going to be putting this a little bit right on the outer corner and also right in the inner corner. Just to get that deep, darken, crease kind of vibe. I have eyelash extensions, so it's like sometimes kind of hard to see where I'm putting the eyeshadow. I honestly sometimes have to push them down and then go in with this shadow, just because I like my lashes long and I like my lashes big. So
that's what she said.
So just taking that black, focusing it right on the outer corner, and then I kind of slowly start blending it upwards into the crease. And then going in with Wanderlust, which is just a really pretty shimmery green. I'm gonna pack this on the whole lid, all over the lid. Blend that out a little bit. I'm just taking that blending brush I had from that MAC color with the green on it. I didn't dip it in it, just using whatever's left over on the brush just to blend it out. I don't want to add up more, just blended. And then just going in one more time with that dark brown color that we used. And just bringing that right in the crease, right in the inner corner. And I'm just going to bring it in a little bit, because now we're going to start doing that halo shape and doing that cut crease. So just taking that right in the inner corner, blending that in a little bit, then drag it into the crease. And then same thing, outer corner, pack it on there, blend it in a little bit, and then drag it up into the crease. Okay, so I went ahead and did this eye and kind of finished it to get that cut crease, so we're gonna do that on this eye. Okay, so for the cut crease, I'm taking a flat concealer brush. This is by e.l.f. and I am just going to take that into my concealer. I'm just going to put this right in the center of the eye, and then I'm just gonna gently look up a little bit like that, and then that's gonna help like find out where my crease is when I look up. So right there, and then I start dragging it down. Okay, so when you get it to where you like it, like this, obviously it's not gonna look like this. I am going to go in just with that deep brush that we used for the brown and the black, just to make it deeper. Just gonna like, there's nothing on this brush, by the way. No product on this brush. I'm just gonna slowly take this and just kind of map out my crease. Just kind of cut any concealer that went over my crease at all. And then for the pop in the center, I just did a gold because I felt like the green would just be a little bit too much. So I did a pop of gold. This is Stranded. I took this gold, which is just a really pretty gold in the palette. Taking it on a flat shadow brush and just packing that on the eye. You just want to be, whenever you do a cut crease, you just want to be super careful and have patience, and it will slowly come. Don't rush it, don't go fast, just because it is such a tedious like thing if you want to get like that right and good clean cut crease. Like, look at that gold, it is so pretty. And then going in with that MAC color, that green one that we used before, I'm just going to take that, and I'm just going to take like a blending brush and start patting this right over the gold to get that ombre look. Right in there. Just so some of that green pops out a little bit more. Taking that right in here. Just slowly start blending it to the middle of the eye and start blending it outwards. Clean that up. Boom. Alright, so this is kind of where you could go in and put your lashes on, put mascara on. I have eyelash extensions, so I don't need to do that. We're gonna go ahead and go on to the face because we're ready. So I am going to take my Origins GinZing, and I am going to be using this under the eyes just as a eye cream. Just to kind of hydrate them, bring some hydration back to them, and this kind of helps clean up if there was any fallout from that eye look that we just did. My eyes get super dry, so it is always just like my favorite thing to do is just adding an eye cream underneath. Alrighty, so for foundation, I mix two together, and these are my two favorite foundations that I love, and just mixing them together just gives me the right color. Just because one of them is a little bit too light, one of them is a little bit too dark, so them together just works good for me, you know? So I am taking my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. This is in 4N1 Shell Beige. This is a little bit too dark for me. So I mix it with the Maybelline Superstay Foundation. This is in 128 Warm Nude. My two favorite foundations right here. These are the best foundations ever. Then to apply my foundation, this is kind of one of those things I just want to talk to you guys about. I use a foundation brush, and I use a flat one. And by using the flat foundation brush, this is going to give you more of that airbrush full coverage look. Just because there is so many bristles that when you blend it on your face, it's just going to give you the most perfect, flawless finish. And it keeps it a little bit more mattifying. Whether if you use a brush that has more bristles, you can move around. It helps give you more of a natural layer, so it's gonna come off as a thin layer at first to make it more of a natural look. Or if you use a beauty blender, that also helps with that natural look, because the beauty blender is soaking up a little bit of the foundation that you're applying, so it's not all fully going on, but this just helps get the job done. Goes on so perfectly. I love this brush for foundation. Sure, and just start patting that on the face. So when I first start using it, I just pat it on. I don't use any like streak motions. That's just gonna cause like streaks in your face from the brush, which you don't want that. And by patting it into your skin like this, that is how you're setting your skin in. You're getting that really flawless look from that. So just patting that in. Down my neck. Move that behind my ear. Forehead. And then I just blend that right on the ear too. Don't want any bad lines. If you guys haven't tried out these foundations like individually, you seriously should, just because they're awesome. Each of them individually. I just mix them just to kind of get a better color that matches my skin. But these foundations are so flawless and so perfect, and I kind of wanted to share this with you guys just because I'm sharing with you a good high-end foundation that I love and also a drugstore foundation that I love, and these two are seriously my favorite. The Superstay, the Maybelline Superstay foundation seriously surprised me so much, because when I bought it and I tried it, I was like, how is this a drugstore foundation? It is so full coverage, and like so you get such a perfect finish from it, honestly. So if you guys have not tried that out or been wanting a new foundation but you don't want to spend the money, that is an awesome foundation to definitely try out. And then going in with just a smaller foundation brush, this is the IT Cosmetics blending brush. I go in with my foundation and I use this to set that right in between the eyebrows, just so I don't wipe away any of the product I used on my eyebrow, and I can get into the smaller places I need to. And then I also go over the nose, because using a brush over the nose is going to help blend right where your nose crease is, just to help blurring any of like the pores you have, blending the foundation together and making it look like, again, super flawless. Just use a small brush to get in all the small areas and get more coverage. Alright, so now we're going to go in with some concealer, and I'm going in with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer. Mine is in vanilla, and I love this so much. Usually, like, the Tarte Shape Tape's like my go-to, but I have recently picked this up and I've been loving this just because it is a little bit more lightweight than the Shape Tape is. The Shape Tape is so perfect. I use it on my clients, I used it on myself, but it is a very full coverage concealer, and sometimes you just don't want that much coverage. I'm doing a pretty mattifying foundation already, so I don't need to go in with a really thick concealer already. So lightweight and just so easy to blend out and so smooth. I've been loving this. So I am just taking the foundation brush that I used to blend out my foundation, just to blend that out. And then I go in with that smaller brush that I used for the middle of my eyebrows in the foundation. I use that to blend out the concealer. When I get underneath my eye, it is a little bit easier to blend underneath my eye with the smaller brush than going in with the big foundation brush. Alright, and then I am taking my translucent powder. I am just taking my Dermablend translucent powder that I use. And I just use this to set underneath my eye. And I just take a dry beauty blender that I use strictly for baking. And I'm just putting this right underneath the eye where I want to highlight underneath and also make sure there's no creasing. And then also I kind of bring it up my nose a little bit. You can also use a brush to apply the translucent powder. I just like setting underneath the eye with it just because I feel like it really sets that concealer in place underneath the eye and also highlights it just by leaving it sitting there for a little bit. Alrighty, and then we are just going to keep this on, and then for the rest of the face I'm going in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder Glow. So this has just a little bit of a tint of glow in it and shimmer, so when you set your face you are just getting the most perfect flawless finish and you're getting a little bit of glow to it. And I am just taking this on the Morphe E53 blending brush. And I'm just setting my foundation with this and putting it all over my face. I don't set my under eyes with this just because there is a little bit of a color tint to this powder. So if you're setting underneath the eye, it just gives off kind of like a weird finish, and it does have that sparkle in it. So underneath the eye, you want to keep it more matte instead of bringing out any sparkles or anything. Just kind of looks a little weird. I tried setting, I learned from that because I set underneath my eye when I first bought this and it just looked really weird. And going in with my Tarte Amazonian Clay Tinted Pressed Finishing Powder in Light, you just want to grab any like light skin flesh color. I am just wiping away that translucent powder we had underneath the eye baking. I love doing this step just because it does bring in some color in after we did go in with that white translucent powder. This does bring in a little bit of more color to it so you don't get any flashback or get like that ghost kind of look, you know? Alrighty, we're gonna go in with bronzer now. So I'm going to take my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Medium Deep Bronzer, and then just taking a bigger powder brush. And I am just going to bring back some color to my face and put this where my contour would go and right on my forehead and in my temple. This is the bronzer I used to use as my transition color underneath all of this eyeshadow, just to start off with, just so we have some sort of color that matches our face a little bit, so it ties the whole thing together. I just lightly dip it in the thing and then I just bring it in, and I just like bringing color back in. So I focus this right where my contour would go and right on my chin and bringing it down my neck. Alrighty, and then I'm going to go in with my Morphe Brontour in Showmance. And going to take this deep brown color and use a smaller angled brush, and we are going to use this to contour. So I'm just going to tuck my hair behind my Dumbo ears, you know, tuck that in and get right into this. So when I contour, I get the product and I start it right in the hairline, right up in here, and then I just slowly brush it down, just because you want this to look as natural as possible. And I bring it up in the ear, bring it down, and then down the jaw. So when it comes to contouring, you don't want to bring it all the way down here just because it just doesn't look natural, you know? You want to keep it as close to the temple as you can, and then with whatever's left over, brush it down. So I just lightly brush it down with the product that's left on it. Bring it up on my forehead and in my temple. And then another tip that I can tell you guys for contouring is it's almost like you're doing a big 3. So you're gonna start here, down, and then down here. So like a big 3. Right in here. I'm like lightly dipping my brush in the powder just because it is so pigmented that you literally, one dip will get you a long way. Right underneath my chin, had my double chin of mine. You know. So now we're gonna go in with blush, and I'm going to be taking my Morphe Blush Trio in Pop of Coral, the best blush ever. And I'm going to be taking this middle color. This is like a really pretty corally blush, and it has some shimmer in it, so it kind of gives you some highlight also. And I'm just gonna dip it in this pink right next to it. So I'm gonna do a mixture of these two. And with this powder brush I used to contour, I'm just gonna be putting this right on the apples of my cheeks. And then I bring it back into my contour. And then just bring it back. And bam, there's the blush. Alrighty, so highlight. I'm not gonna add any highlight today just because I have so much going on in my eyes, and this blush has some highlight in it, so this is good enough. I kind of like where it is for my face and everything. So this is it for the face, and now we're just gonna go in with under eye and we'll be done. For the under eye, I don't think I want to do too much color underneath the eye because I just don't want like one big like ring of darkness, you know. Go in with the bronzer I use in the transition color, and with a mixture of Riff, which was this copper color that we used, and just put that right underneath the eye. This is gonna be the fun part. We're gonna take that flat shadow brush that we used. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna take that flat shadow brush that we used to pack on that gold color, and we are gonna go in with that green color we used, that Wanderlust color, right in the center underneath my eye. Just for that like pop of something, you know? Guys, I'm just gonna quickly go ahead and do a lip just to kind of tie the whole thing together. And for the lip, I am taking MAC lip liner in Stripdown, and then on top of it, just gonna take the Milani lipstick in Bahama Beige. Alrighty, so this is the final look. I hope I made some sort of sense to you guys on trying to explain what I do. Honestly, it's just really hard for me to explain. I just kind of do it. So if you followed along, then thank you for understanding. But yeah, so this is the look, and I hope you guys liked it, and I'll be back with more videos. Bye.